What was your initial reaction to having to evacuate, and what were you told during that time?
Well, I thought the initial reaction was that the game was over. The term suspended, you don't really know what that means at that moment. But then when we got to the locker room and found out what the situation was and how they were trying to deal with it, it felt as if they thought they had it under control. So then it was just a matter of time. It was a matter of how long it was going to take to evacuate the fans, how long it was going to take to make sure the situation was under control with the speaker, and then how long it's going to take to make sure we can get our guys back on the court. So 15 years for me, probably the most bizarre situation that we've been in for a game. And I really give both teams and all of the players credit for going into the locker room, being deactivated, and then having to come back out on the floor and add 10 minutes to the clock and get going again. So, I think in this situation, you just pray that no one gets hurt. And the body is a very fragile thing, and these guys put a lot into their body. So you're really just hoping no one gets hurt, and we're able to finish this thing off, and we were able to do that.
So you all never actually left the arena? You just went back to the locker room?
We did not. Yeah.
And then, did you smell anything?
You can definitely smell it. That was, I had talked to the lead official, Zach Zarba, a few times, probably in terms of game clock, probably 4 minutes before we actually stopped the game. First, you just see a mass exodus behind the basket on our bench side, and you don't know what's going on, but there's the entire section leaving the building or going up these stairs. It wasn't out of control, but there was something going on, and then you start to smell that there's a fire somewhere in the building. So by the time it stopped, the smell was tough.
Do you lean on like the experience of being in a bubble and things like that, where there's no fans and you're having those 8 a.m. AAU type of
Yeah,
vibes?
this is AAU, and I think we've all been in a situation where we've played with no fans, but I don't know, no one's been in a situation where we played with fans because of this. You start the game and there's a ton of energy in the building and a lot of people in the building, and then, I don't even know what the total time was, but at least an hour, I would imagine, had elapsed before we came back out, and it's just a different building.
What was the conversation like with the players to come back out here and continue to play?
Just kind of gave them the scenario. If safe, we were going to finish this game. It made sense to finish this game while we're here. The alternative of trying to figure it out just seemed tough. But if safe, and the fire marshal having the ability to determine that the building would be safe, then we were going to try and figure out how to finish the game.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Lloyd, as a coach, you obviously try to be ready for any possible situation that might come up. How challenging is this for you to try to lead under such unusual circumstances and try to come up with a game plan when there's really no way to prepare for something like this?
Yeah, I mean, again, in my 15 years, I don't think I've seen, in Philly, we had an incident where we had to postpone the game, but it never started. The hockey team played earlier in the afternoon, and they were trying to change the floor over, and the floor was slick, but the game never started, so completely different. This is different, just the fact that we started the game, we played the game, the commotion was going on during the game, and we had to stop and it completely evacuate the building. There was never really a feeling of danger. It just, understanding that there was a fire going on and people had to be evacuated is enough.
Tony East?
Well, especially because you guys were down by so much when that break happened. Was it kind of difficult to get everybody juiced back up and back into the game at that point in time?
Just in general, score aside, I think it was just difficult because of the unknown. We didn't know, and I think a lot of guys on both sides took showers, and some guys got dressed, and when the word spread that they were going to have the situation under control, then it was mentally and physically challenging to try and get everybody back in the mindset of getting dressed, getting activated, retaping, whatever you needed to do. But we just tried to keep them up to date as much as we could, every 5 to 10 minutes, about what was going on and what we knew, and then try and relay it as quickly as we can to them, so as quickly as we could to them, so that they could prepare.
All right, last question, Pat.
Was there any concern just from a player health perspective on getting restarted twice in that short amount of time? And I guess added even a third time coming out of the half. And when you have only 8 guys, do you consider doing something like Toronto did with VanVleet?
Well, I don't think we had enough bodies to do what Toronto did. It was important. Andy, one of our strength coaches, came out on the court and activated our group. We asked the guys how much time they needed to get activated and reacclaim with their shots and movement on the floor and things like that. So, it was kind of a free-for-all. Nick and I, Coach Nurse and I, met at half court with Zach Zarba and determined how much time we needed. And we were able to accomplish shortening halftime. So we didn't go into the locker room at halftime. It was only 7.5 minutes. We wanted to just try and stay as warm as we could and just stay out on the floor. It didn't make sense to go back there. Neither team did.
Oshae, what was your initial reaction to having to evacuate from the court? And did you know what was going on at the time?
Nah. I mean, seeing everyone clear out, I thought it was a fight going on. Because no one said anything. It was just everyone was clearing out. I was looking, and I saw the firefighters, so I kind of figured what was happening. But I think they're going to cancel the game because I'm playing for like 5-6 minutes after when I first saw everything happen. But yeah, no, it's definitely crazy.
What was it like in the locker room just having to receive information, process it, and then obviously prepare to go back out there, kind of AAU style, a quick warm up and no fans?
Yeah. I mean, we were all confused, kind of like how everyone else was. Just in the not know, just sitting there waiting. Whole bunch of questions going around, a whole bunch of thoughts going around, but we have to deal with what we're given, and we went back out there and tried to do something, but obviously fell short.
Was there any thought in your mind that the game wouldn't be resumed?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think we were going to play, but then guys started talking and they were saying, well, how else are we going to finish the game? And I started thinking, okay, I saw it on Twitter, just like it was a little fire on the speaker, so I figured they could deal with that easy and then get us going.
Yeah, that's why I asked, like, where everyone's just checking their phones and kind of trying to get information like we were outside, basically?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of dealing with the same as everyone else. Coach coming in and giving us updates every now and then. But even then, they didn't know until they went and talked to whoever they talked to.
Have you ever experienced anything like that in your career? I know Miles mentioned, I was talking to him on the sideline, like, there's a leak in the roof a few years ago during a Pacers game. Have you, in your short career?
Nah, nothing. Nothing like that.
So do you blame it on Canada or?
Nah, never. Never Canada's fault. It's never that.
Disappointing for you though, because you had a bunch of people here to see you who now had to take off, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got a whole bunch of texts, friends, family. They were really mad, but it was good that they came to the sport and watched what they did get to see. But just glad that everyone was safe getting out.
How many people did you have here approximately?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. It was a lot. I was just giving Karen names and numbers and just having her deal with it.
Scott Agnes, go ahead.
Yeah, Oshae, more specifically, can you describe just kind of the locker room? Were guys showering? Were guys watching the Duke game? Were you guys watching film? Like, what was it like in there?
A little bit of all three. Some guys shower, some guys, like you said, watch the Duke game. A lot of people chilled. But again, we just obviously didn't know what to do, so we were just trying to find things to pass time and wait for coach to come in and let us know.
Tony East.
Oshae, I had 2 for you. The first one about the actual game itself. Losing by 40 is tough. What did you see as the biggest thing that went wrong for you guys in this game?
We definitely just came out really flat. They were hitting a lot of shots, obviously, a lot of threes. Everyone was on fire for them today, but there's obviously more that we could have done. Coming out with more fire, more energy is something that we got to pick up, and that's something that we're going to have to really address over the summer with the guys that we have. Really just build that identity to let us, know that we just can't come out like that because, we are good. We do deserve to be here. We do deserve to be in any game with every team in the league. We just got to know that ourselves and, build that going into next year.
And then a follow-up, you guys were already down 28 when the fire delay happened. How hard was it for you guys to, you just talked about getting mentally prepared to jump back in at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Coach was saying it would be a different story if, we were down 10 or down 5 or a tie game or something. We want to go back out there and compete. But, like you said, down 28, it's tough to want to pick it back up and go. But Justin, he was saying, let's try to do something crazy. Let's try to come back. Let's try to, he was trying to motivate everybody, and we just tried to do what we could going out.
Scott?
Shamon, have you noticed or observed, like, you're the only guy that was not on the team last year that's available, and even you joined the group late? Have you taken notice of that?
Nah, actually. Now that you said that, I didn't even notice that. That's crazy. I guess you call me a vet or something. One of the old guys.